Hello and welcome to this video that is quite interesting. I will be showing you a demo of a tool called xlwings Lite. So this was a tips from someone from my community that asked for xlwings demos and tutorials. So I started to look into that a few days ago and saw that, oh, this was quite the interesting package. And that's why I want to show you a demo first, and maybe in the future I will create more tutorials and maybe I will create a course, depending on how many that are interested in this type of content. So starting with going to the browser, I'll show you where I get the data. So here I am in the browser, and this is a Swedish data, so it's for occupation, higher vocational education, where I teach a lot. Here I get the data for, so result here. So here you have an Excel file. You can download this Excel file. So it contains all the courses that have been approved by government, by this governance here. So that it means that they get funding to create courses so that you can take the courses for free. And then what I choose to do is that in Excel and using xlwings Lite, then you have Python in Excel. That is super cool. And there's actually Python in Excel by default. They have added it. However, xlwings Lite was really cool. Wings Lite. And you can see this is xlwings. So here is a demo that they have. So basically you have here a script folder where you can add your Python script with functions, you can add classes, etc. And then they also discuss the difference between them and the default Python in Excel. But let's move on to Excel now. So here I am in Excel. I have created this Excel sheet, which is not empty. As you can see, there's a here, which means choose your regions, to show that we have a drop down. So you can pick different things from a drop down. So how do I do this? I will show you how to do this soon. Or actually, let's have it in default size. Okay, so first what you want to do here is add on. So I have it in Swedish, so it says leg, but it's add on. So here you should search for Wings Lite. And when you have done that, you have xlwings. And then for me, I will click here. So this is the script that I have written. So I have written a script that is 242 lines long. And I will explain a little bit what this script does. What I start with is having this script that is called region data. So I've created this region data script. Let me show you. Here is the region data. So what this does is that it takes the book, it goes into this helper data sheet, so sheets 5, and then inside of this, I read in the data. So I use CF as it's a pandas, so I use it to read the data from the data sheet, which is this one, listansökningar. So here's the data. And how do I do this? This read data is a function which I have created here. Let me show you. So I've created this function here. So it says like sheet.range, start with A1, and then I go into the last data point. I go into the last point here, which is, let's see, KLMNO, O, and then 1027. So O, 1027.value. And then you get this as a list of lists. And a list of lists, as you can read it in pandas, using pandas data frame. Okay, so after I've done that, so I've read the data. And then the helper function, what it does is that this is a region data script. So you denote the scripts by writing it like this. You have @script. So when I run this one, what it does is that it takes, so it does this, read the data, and it basically takes out, LAN is the regions, so these are the regions, and then make it into unique, so that I get all the regions here. that are unique. Otherwise, if you go into here, you get the regions. Let's see here, you see you get regions several times. So you get Stockholm, Stockholm, Västra Götaland. So they appear several times. So that's why we copy that one, or we make it unique so that we can create this list or this dropdown. So this dropdown, I had to create it manually, unfortunately. xlwings is powerful, but is not that powerful that it has this, I think. Or maybe I'm too new to it, so I don't know how to do this. However, how I did this manually was going into data. You have this data verification. You click on this one and you can choose where the source should be. So you choose list and you choose what data should be in this list. So this helper data helps me to create this one. And also I placed it in this cell here, I6, so that I can refer to it later. As you can see here, we can choose between all the data points. So if I choose, for example, Stockholm, or I choose, for example, Skåne, and then I will change my script to dashboard. So the dashboard is another script I have. So I will use this to create a dashboard. That is kind of sick that you can do this in Excel, but usually it's not really good tool for creating dashboard or using Python to create dashboard here. But just to show that this is possible to do, and I'm exploring xlwings so that maybe I will create a course later on. So let's create this dashboard. I click this button and it will run this script. Ta-da! And the dashboard is here. That is totally amazing. And I've done some manually changed the width of different things so that it looks a little bit nicer. And I've used Python to place this into right places. So I will explain a little bit how I did this. And the filtering works, as you can see. So Välj län Skåne, and we have Skåne here. And we have Skåne also. We have Skåne here, and we have Skåne here. And just to show you that I haven't hard-coded this, and also there's a small bug in this, so that's why I need to do this. I need to erase this first. Remember these numbers here. I'll change Skåne to Stockholm, and I'll run this one. And you can see the numbers have changed, and this is Stockholm. It's quite amazing that you can do this, actually. This is really fun. But usually you use other tools to create dashboards. For example, you can use, if you want to use Tableau or Power BI, or you could use Streamlit, you could use Reel, etc. There's a lot of tools, but it's quite fun that you can do this in Excel, and it teaches a lot about xlwings. So I'll explain a little bit how this works. So what it does is that we have this region, right? So I start with here. I have this data sheet, and then I have this dashboard sheet. So I choose this one, dashboard 0. And then I have this selected region, I6. So this is where I get this data. So I choose .value, right? And then I do df read data of datasheet.query. And then I choose LAN equals at selected region. So this will basically filter my data frame. And when it has filtered it, I can use this data in order to create different stuffs. And this one, cell printer, it's just a class that I've created to help me so that I don't need to repeat all the code all the time. So cell printer, I'll just show you shortly. So it's just this short class that helps me with some formatting with different sizes and different, so that you can add the values. So it changed the font size and change the cell, choose the cell. So what you can see, I create this, instantiate these 3 different instances. So we have a title CP KPI, so it looks like this. And then we have CP text that looks like this. And then what I do is that I create this title. So see, I just use this method print from that class so that we place it into the cell E2 here. And then I type this out and the size is chosen here already. So this is the power of using Python in Excel. If you know about OOP, you know how to reuse your code in a strategical way. And then I use a for loop here so that I can print this out, this pre, so I don't need to type all of them out all the time. And then here I do data processing. I have another class here. For cleaning the data, I've used DuckDB. So DuckDB is a way to use SQL queries inside of data frame. And that is really cool also. So there's a lot of technologies involved here in order to create this somewhat simple dashboard. So here, just some SQL query to clean the data to get out something that we want, and here to get another thing. So just cleaning the data or filtering the data, basically. And then when I filter the data, I can pick out the data I want, and I send this into these functions. So it's two different, or it's basically the same function, but I change it a little bit, which creates these two. And then I do similar thing for this points histogram and seats histogram. So number of seats here, points and seats. So these are reusable functions. And when I've created this, so these are for fig objects or fig instances. And then you just add it here using this pictures.add. You put in this figure and you choose where it should be, if it should be updated when you run it, etc. And I do this for all of them. This is how I get figures. And basically, how to create the figures is a lot of matplotlib. So matplotlib and seaborns. So first here is matplotlib. And what I've done is that I have done a lot of configurations, a lot of storytelling to make it a little bit cleaner. Otherwise, matplotlib graphs, actually, they look quite ugly in the start. However, I've cleaned it up so that you can see that we have made this into a weaker color. And this also weaker color so that these are stronger. And as this is the data that is shown, and I removed the spines here. And if you want to learn more about this, I have a data visualization course where I teach storytelling with lib. And then I do similar thing with the ones for seaborn. And yes, so I will just close this in here. I will close this down and I will save this one. And as you can see, this is the dashboard. And here is the data in another sheet. And here's other type of data that I haven't touched. And this is the helper data. Yes, so now you've seen me using Excel to create the dashboard. So I've just shown you a little bit overview on and explained a little bit of the code, but I haven't gone in detail and created the code from scratch, as this is just a demo and just show that it's possible and it's quite fun to do. However, what I can see the potential is that using xlwings, we can automate a lot of things in Excel. And of course, there's a lot of people working with Excel. That is a fact. Even if we have come so far in with all the tools that we have within data analytics, data engineering, data science, there's still a lot of people sitting with Excel. And if there's a lot of data in Excel, there's a lot of things that you can do to extract different content, to extract different values, do a lot of computations. You can do a lot of automation in Excel using xlwings. So this was quite fun to explore, and if you like this, just comment that you want to learn more, and maybe I will create a course in the future. We'll see, I'm not sure yet. So thank you for watching this one, and see you in the next video. Bye!